Good morning, everybody. It is Take Out the Trash Tuesday. Trucks haven't started rolling in yet, but they will soon. Um, and so let's go over because, god damn, she's trying to catch up so hard on her live streaming because that is her only income. Um, we'll go through it. Just saying speeds are up a bit, so I'll do my best to pause where relevant and have some commentary there. Just to give a quick LCU update, their views were absolutely terrible over the weekend, from what I could tell. Nobody gives a shit about their bullshit content anymore, especially when you've got other material like this out here. By the way, both Xylee and Batgirl have said that they want to do segments on Foodie Beauty. And I have stated in the past that Xylee won't do it because she doesn't know enough of the lore. She has not researched enough. And that appears to be the case because it was dropped, it was said, it never came back, right? The other thing that I've noticed about Rewind is that they're taking my talking points about beans and applying them to sweet tea. So they're gaslighting their audience right now. I'm sure they gaslight their audience all the time, but it's pretty pathetic that they are so incapable of producing their own content that they do this rubber glue back to you sort of bullshit. So I have stated that Beans has dead eyes, that, she comes in ill prepared, that she doesn't have the tech knowledge. She's always making mistakes, having half of the time she comes in muted. She has OBS issues all the time, and that she can't work with women. And so now they are trying to transfer these things that are Beans' mistakes to Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is now on Tech Talk. I watched about an hour of it this morning on the replay. And while she is a bit ADHD and bouncy and stuff, I see an immediate improvement in that she doesn't talk over CD-ROM like Glammy did. Glammy was constantly interrupting him and directing the conversation to irrelevant topics. She couldn't get out of the chat. She was just cucking the content constantly. And it looked like Sweet Tea was doing a better job of being engaged with the conversation. So, you go, girl. You keep learning. Do your best. I know they're all against you. They're making you the butt of their joke. But if this is what you really want, which I couldn't even imagine. But if it's what you really want, just, roll with the punches and do your best. Okay, let's get into the foodie content. I'm using just Sang's content that she put together about 7 hours ago. And I will drop the link so that you can come back to this. And please like her stream and subscribe to her channel. And if you like my commentary, please like my stream and subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's get going.
Hi guys. Juice. Juice. Look, guys.
So she's got a really strong filter on that makes her face look very elongated and egg-like. Her favorite prop is Julia, which is a distraction prop to her and nothing more. There is no love lost between these two. Julia only relies on her to be fed at this point. And she's with Dada, so she really doesn't need Chantel at all. And Chantel doesn't pick cats up properly. She doesn't know how to cuddle them properly. She doesn't know how to actually build a relationship with an animal. So there's that.
Cheers. Now, the internet might suck. I don't know. My head looks smaller. Look like I've lost weight. So at 2, we're going to go in the kitchen. I have to do my laundry. Oh no, I don't know how. Actually, I have to take like several small showers a day, especially if it's really sweaty. Am I going to be real with you? What's being real? Do you want to hear me say, thank you, I bet they don't. You don't not. Do you want to hear me say, I'm miserable, I hate life, I don't like being here?
This is the truth. What she's spitting right now is the actual truth of her situation. She's also wasting water in a drought with a tank on the top of the roof that they have to pay to refill because they don't have running water in Syria. And I don't know if she's actually taking these showers or not, because she's always been adverse to cleaning herself. But she could just fill up a bucket and have a hand towel and wipe herself down during the hotter parts of the day and bathe once a day. And she could even, while wiping herself down, use some soap and, clean herself that way. It would conserve more water. It would be better for her. Also, if you look at her face during this live stream, which thankfully, Just Saying has flipped it, because every time she goes live, it's a reverse image, and this time we get a correct image on this live stream. So basically, you can see that her left side is still swollen and droopy compared to the right side of her face.
Not gonna happen. Because I don't like to waste the water, but when I sweat, I sweat a lot and I can't stand it. But whenever you take a cold shower, it's like a moment of and then you get out and you're cold. It's like a moment of and so, yes, I have cold water. So I'll show you when we go to the kitchen. It's like a cooler and you put ice in it and it keeps the water cold for hours. So that's why the shower, it's almost like a sprinkle. It's not very hard water. There's I don't know if it's calcium or what's wrong with the water, but it causes a buildup. Am I keeping Salah happy? Trying. Salah's sleeping. I slept when I got off live. They came and replaced the battery. They came to replace the battery. And then I went to bed. I said, you know what? Well, we have battery juice just in case. I'm going to go to bed. So I just woke up not long ago. Stock up on food. I have not experienced food scarcity.
By the way, the battery replacement, she claims, was a used battery for $700 USD. But because she doesn't understand the currency in Syria, I think it very likely that Salah is not being completely honest with her about the cost of these items and is skimming some money off the top, because he ends up getting a Casio so that he can play Crazy Frog. And I'd like to understand how that luxury is important to you, Salah. You're trying to live in a war-torn country and set up a home. Why do you need a Casio? What for?
I have not seen food scarcity. Even with like, you know, less people with less income, like we have Swell has some friends that, you know, they live in like,
Prime Day is here with great.
they live in a village though, so it's not expensive to live. And they have a house and they grow their own food. Like they have a little garden and, you know, I don't know. But a lot of it.
That doesn't mean that there isn't food scarcity in the country, Chantel, and you know that. You drove by. Okay, if you guys go back and look at her vlog that she published, she drove by bombed out buildings and said that there were still families living inside. Because where else are they going to go? Right? They have nowhere else to go. You're making it sound like the suburban families that were less affected, still affected, but less affected, are the norm. And it's not. And, you know, these deals that you talk about Syria making with like Qatar and other countries to rebuild, their currency is worthless. So what are they agreeing to? Are they giving away their oil rights? What are they doing to set up these projects? Because they would have to be incurring a lot of national debt in order to rely on their fellow Arab nations to help them rebuild right now.
Time when we go visit people, we like pay for like we'll bring treats and you know, one time we bought some chickens, stuff like that. Growing your own food is the best. Yeah, like they grow zucchini, cucumbers. You know what I mean? You know, it makes me like I get really emotional like when I see Salah just like going around and, you know, seeing how his country looks and how he has moments of extreme happiness and then moments of like kind of sadness, and sometimes he's stressed out. I'm gonna put the fan in the kitchen. I have to clean the kitchen. You guys are gonna gross out. I haven't cleaned anything in the kitchen really. I think tomorrow we have a lot to do. We have to go out and get more sand for Julia for her box. Since putting natural sand in her box, she hasn't pooped once on the so I had to shave her because she has like.
Okay, so now she's getting into the issues with Julia. If she's not having a bowel movement, there's something going on. She is either under extreme stress or the food that they're trying to give her is not agreeing with her. Although I would think that if it was that she'd probably be more like having episodes of diarrhea or something like that. They're also using just like sand from the desert, which means they have to replace it more frequently because it's not going to clump. There's no fragrance or anything to mask the odor. So we're talking about just like standard sand. And, you know, a lot of people buy that kind of cat litter here in the States too. And it just, the urine sinks to the bottom of the cat pan and you can smell it through the house. It has to be replaced very frequently. She's going to talk about the mats. If she has mats on her belly, that means that she's biting at her belly, right? And my cat Snuffles was doing that to her belly, and I had to take her to the vet. You know, I was bringing her in to get a shave every year because I didn't know what was wrong. And that's when we discovered she had breast cancer. She had to have both tracts removed. 1 year, the first tract, 2nd year, the second tract. And it was $1,000 per operation that I paid for that. and it was too late. By the time I had the second track removed, it was already in her blood, and she only survived about 3 months after that.
Try to do it myself, but the clippers I have are meant for a beard, and they're not strong. So she has a long belly hair, and maybe along the travel journey, I don't know, but there's a mat. It's not touching her skin, but it's in her fur. I want to get her shaved, whole underbelly shaved. I grew up in a third world country, born right after the end of martial law. It's not impossible to live happily, even without internet and modern conveniences. Like, you would think, I thought I'm the most spoiled person in the world, like, but you adapt, you do, and you realize, like, so what, as long as I have certain things for survival, you know? I have a stove, but we have to set up the gas tank. We just got a gas tank. Someone gave us a gas tank because they had an extra one. Julia needs a lion's cut shave. Seriously, I was in bed, like, I feel emotional, I don't know why, but I was in bed, like, cuddling. I was with Salah, and the cat was between us, and I was like, I went through a lot just to be with these two people, because Julia is my perfect person. Like, they mean the world to me, you know? My mom is, yeah, she said I look happy in all of my pictures I sent her, so she's...
That's interesting about the stove, because I was thinking about that. Like, a lot of what she's describing sounds like this cabin that a friend of mine, her family owns, up in the mountains that overlook Palm Springs. And it's very rustic, and every year they go in and clear the property of the dead, the undergrowth of the trees. You know, they do their, like, fire landscaping, and pick up all the pine needles, and then they just basically, like, take all those branches, cut it into firewood, and they take the pine needles and put them on the dirt road to prevent dirt from coming up. They hook up a line to their tank, their water tank, that is attached to, it goes down the whole mountain, and it feeds in through a natural spring water. And their refrigerator and stove are powered through propane. They also have solar for electricity, so they're completely off the grid. And her experiences that she's going through right now just remind me a lot of that. But in their case, they're doing it because it's quirky, it's fun, it's so much cool. It's, like, so cool to go up to the mountains and have this rustic experience. She's doing it because she doesn't understand. First of all, she's not doing it. Slaw's doing all this. And she just is like, well, he'll fix it. He'll put it together for us. And she, by the way, she, as far as I can tell, she's always cooked on electric stoves. It's different. It's not the same. So I hope she figures that out pretty quickly.
Relaxing a bit. How can people say Julia hates me when I've shown so many times when we're hugging and she's always with me? Like, you know? Listen, okay? If I say the sky is blue, the haters are going to say the sky is purple, just to spite. So, whatever. If you notice that, like, every single reaction, every single thing I do, something has to be wrong or contrary with it. Like, anything. Write it down. No.
That's because you lie to us on every stream. And it's very difficult for you to remember all the lies that you've told us. So you keep going back and forth on your story. And we're like, wait a minute, but you said this the other day. And then you said this. Like, you're not keeping, your story is not consistent. Like, for example, you said that you had to go through 2 checkpoints to enter the country and that you got your passport stamped. And then you put out a vlog that showed that Syria has an open border and you just drove right through it. You told us you arrived in the dead of night And your video footage, the sun is perfectly out. Like, why are you lying about the weirdest details?
I don't plan on living here permanently. I don't plan anything really permanently in my life, actually, now that I think about it. Why would my Canadian citizenship be in danger? I'm not, like, pledging allegiance to any groups that would... I'm not Shamima, whatever her name is.
My old roof was...
I'm not, like, pledging allegiance to any groups that would... I'm not Shamima, whatever her name is.
So she has a fairly decent stove. It's a bit older. It looks like there might have been a fire in the oven where it got a little warped. The door got a little warped. But it looks very similar to my stove, which is much newer and much prettier, and I have a double oven. But you know what? As a homeowner, when I replace my appliances, I try and actually like put in upgrades that will increase the resale value, right? And I've replaced just about everything from the dishwasher to the stove to the HVAC system. The only thing I haven't replaced yet is the water tank, the water heater. That's the only thing I have, and I will probably pretty soon. But these are things that you do as a homeowner, and she just relies on everybody around her to take care of this shit for her.
She's on the fridge. There's that gross fridge. Juice.
The thing is, if you have a fridge that's non-operational because of the fact that you have so many power outages, you have to prop the doors open. If you don't keep the doors open on a non-operational fridge, it will grow mold. Period. That is how you maintain a fridge out of service.
Landlord offered to put a new fridge in, so we're gonna see if the battery can withstand it. But this is a gas stove. You put this on the gas. Thank you. I never heard of these brands. These are for sale. I honestly don't. I've had some of these. These are fake.
This is pathetic, Chantel. You start out with the mukbang, which just saying cut out of this particular summary. And then you go straight into binging on snacks and stuff and doing your regular excuses about how these are for Salah. First of all, why are you eating in excess in a poverty-stricken nation with food insecurities? It's disgusting behavior.
Throw out the white bread and eat the bread.
Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, just like changes like that. Buy your battery a bigger capacity, because apparently happens when like you need their permission to leave the country or something. I don't know. I don't think that's as a Canadian. Or, like, I'm not a resident here. What are these? Here, tea. My foot was swollen yesterday. I don't know why people are like obsessed with my foot. Right now?
She has severe edema and her feet have been swelling up pretty badly. Plus, her broken toe isn't healed. This was a terrible idea. She is going to put strain on a country that can't support her and her issues. Chantel, you were so selfish. You were so selfish. And yet you're trying to produce content as though you're a martyr. I mean, like, you were so selfish.
Check it out. Oh, there's tissue. Don't mind that. I gotta sweep the floor again. Because the fan blows everything on the ground. Yesterday, this foot is more swollen, but not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday it was really bad. My feet always look purple. It's my skin tone. Really understood KFC crap, dude. My place is my bedroom.
She is so fucking lazy that she can't even dust in there. There is a thick layer of soot all over that apartment. It's a better looking apartment than the dump she was in Kuwait, but that's because through capitalism there's more wealth inequality, whereas in Syria they're all poor. They're all poor. I mean, there are varying levels, but they're all on the bottom spectrum at this point. And I don't mean to find humor in that, but I kind of do, because like she keeps introducing herself into these scenarios. And she could do the basic bare minimum of just using like a damp hand towel and wiping everything down. She ended up getting something in her eye, and again, if that was something that actually like scratched the eyeball, she would have needed to see an eye doctor, and she can't take care of herself. She has so many complications and comorbidities that this is the worst possible scenario for her at this time, and she's putting undue stress on Salah for this. For what? Chantel, he doesn't even like you. He doesn't want you there. He said so on your live stream that he told you not to come. He said it multiple times.
I don't know how much I weigh right now. There's an ashtray on the couch, which Salah will be mad at me for showing by accident. Everybody smokes here. You know how much a pack of cigarettes cost? These menthol cigarettes? Do you know how much they cost? 50 cents a pack.
Yeah, that's how big tobacco moves in, gets everybody addicted to something, and then raises prices as the economy grows a bit stronger. You're surprised by this? For real? You enjoy your pussy cigs.
I know, Calpat, but everyone smokes here. Inside, outside, anywhere. You can smoke anywhere. You could probably smoke in a hospital. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but I had shisha 2 or 3 times, but we share it with other people, not just for me. He doesn't smoke like right beside me or anything. I'm gonna go switch the electric. It's gonna go out. Let's get a blackout. Wait, crap. It's about halfway. It's because it's newer, so it hasn't fully charged. It charges by solar. I have not had a mammogram. If you watch a vlog about somebody who went to a shawarma place, the guy was smoking and cutting the shawarma. Smoking is like... They have no drugs. Very illegal. Yeah, they call it hashish, but it's highly illegal here. So no. I don't know if we put Christopher. We're not going to get away with it.
Every country has drugs. She's lying to you again. There's always an underbelly market. Give me a goddamn break. And the way Salah happens to have friends in every country and so many connections, allegedly, supposedly, conspiracy theory, it sounds like dude is involved in organized crime because he's not working. So what is he doing? Is Vandalay Fragrance some sort of money laundering operation for having a supply chain to Syria? Is that what's going on? And he was on the delivery side while in Kuwait, and now he's on the receiving side in Syria. I mean, I'm just speculating, but you say he has enough money to support you. Where's that money coming from?
Ashley's following your shawarma. Still tastes great. He was like this. Go watch the video, okay? Go like this. And the vlogger was like, oh, I'll take a chicken shawarma. The guy has a long dart in his mouth. But people ask for money because we two have loads. Okay, number one, we do not have loads of money. Nice lady. Trust me on that, okay? Compared to people here, of course, there's different income levels here. But yes, sometimes people will, like an old man came right up to our car and was like banging on it and asking for money. But that only happened once. And so I gave him some Syrian pounds. The salary in Syria is 50 a month, 50 US. Yeah, I know. We try to share where we can, of course. Why my channel's controversial? There's a long history there, Tara. I think he's taught me how to tone down a little bit. Respect myself a little more.
I don't think he has, and I'll leave the link to this video. I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but I think that one of the most dangerous things that she does right now is all of her neighbors are asking her to come inside and sit with them and talk to them, and she does not know who is in support of the current government, which is led by a former Al-Qaeda leader. The current president was a former Al-Qaeda leader. Or are they Assad supporters? And he was a fascist dictator. So she really doesn't know politically what she can and cannot say. And if she's telling everybody that she makes money through YouTube, this could be super problematic for her because she's painting a giant ass target on herself. And it doesn't matter how much she hides in her apartment. They could bang down the door any time. Hell, I live in America, and somebody tried to bang down my door on July 4th last year. It's not impossible, Chantel. Good luck. Stay safe. Go home.